So I want to share this quick story of when I was 22 years old and I had first moved to New York, my first broadcasting on-air job. I was really excited because I was going to be able to do something that my parents could listen to. And I would be able to say, Xorje Olivares every time I signed off on these broadcasts. But very quickly, I had to have a conversation with my older white supervisor who said I needed to anglicize my name, that if I was going to do anything on air, I had to say Xorje Olivares, which
Wow.
even now coming out of my mouth sounds really weird. And this was a shock to me because I've grown up on the Texas-Mexico border. Everybody knows how to say my name. I was surrounded by a bunch of Latinos growing up, so it never felt weird for me to say it how I was taught it. So since then, since I was 22, have had to be very intentional and deliberate with how I say my name because I need folks to know that I am from the border. I'm Mexicano, like I'm Tejano. I've got all this stuff behind me. And so definitely my relationship to my name and to language has shifted over the years. So I want to ask you, Rachel, if you've had a similar situation where your relationship with either language has changed a bit.
Yeah, you actually like struck a chord with the name. Cuz I feel less Latina when I say my actual government name without my stage name baked in, where it's like, "Hi, I'm Rachel Strauss." Like I don't know how many I can't tell you how many job interviews I've been on where I show up, I'm like, "Hi, I'm Rachel Strauss." And they look at me like, "No, you can't be. You don't look like a Strauss." Wait, what are you? Exactly? With their eyes. I don't think that's like allowed to be said by like HR and stuff, but like, I get that feeling like, oh, you weren't expecting a mixed race girl who's half Latina and whose father is Jewish. I get it. Let me tell you a little bit about me. So then when I do say, oh, I'm Rachel La Loca Strauss, that pretty much encapsulates who I am to the T. I am this mixed breed that loves both of her cultures, that fully embraces being Dominican and like a descendant of Eastern European Jew, Russian and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed in with the borscht. And like it's the name for me. I never really gave it thought until you brought up how you say your name. And I do say La Loca with intent. Because I could easily say Rachel La Loca Strauss, but then I don't sound like me. Okay. It's Rachel La Loca Strauss.
Hmm. See, because the thing is, it is what feels unnatural. Because I've never in my life said my name is Jorge. You've
Mm.
never in your life have not said La Loca in the accent that you have.
Right.
So Angelo, did you like just thinking about accents, names, how you present yourself to the world? Have you had to contend with that and like deal with some of the inner workings of how you feel about how you express yourself?
I think at the beginning of my immigrant career in the US, I had to. Like, as soon as I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, yes, I had to pronounce, I would say Angelo. But if I'm here in New York and I do comedy, listen, like a lot of the times it's like, it's my show. I'm doing my show in Spanish. It says en español, it says everything. I'm gonna just speak the way I speak because that's what the actual thing people are paying for. They want to see that part of themselves, even not even mine. And so they also introduce themselves pronouncing their name how they normally wouldn't do it. That I do see. That I know they would normally say, "Oh, my name is Maria," but when they see me, they go like, mi nombre es Maria, mucho gusto." Like that's it's like, okay, I'm free. I won't be judged here. And so when I have the chance to do this outside in other cities, yes, I of course sometimes I try to sound like I have been here for longer if I'm, in other places because you feel it. I've been to Kansas City, I've been to Louisville, Kentucky. And it's not as welcoming. I don't know if I would get away to say Angelo El Loco Colina. But
Do it. Let's
but
see what
when that,
happens.
by the way,
Try it.
Rachel, when you just said La Loca, that was also Dominican. The way you said La Loca, you know. Yeah,
I feel so
emotional
Dominican
support
right
meeting.
now. Oh my God. My
You
mom's gonna be so
should.
proud.
You should
See, but
always.
this is
Yes, it's the best.
this is what I love because I'm Mexican American, Dominican American, somebody from Venezuela who has that very distinct, like, we are all from our own distinct backgrounds, and yet look at how much we're having fun with language, with culture, with identity.